They warned us, America, and it's time to start preparing. In today's video, I'm going to break down the facts, figures, numbers, logic. We can talk about esoteric, this, that, future, past, but let's talk about the facts, figures, numbers, logic, and where Americans sit today and what we can do to transform our family's life during the worst economic times in the world. My name is Coach JB. What I work to do is make very complex macro and microeconomic strategies very simple so the normal everyday person can implement them. We're working to help over 1 million people by 2025. So if you're interested in understanding how I insure my wealth in Tier 1 Capital, tax code 7702, people call it the infinity banking concept, index universal life, click the description of this video down below or in my social media platform, click the link to set up a free consultation with my team. As well, I'm looking for 100 people to join my next webinar coming up very, very soon. Week 1 is my cryptocurrency portfolio. Week 2 is how to get in and out of crypto. Week 3 is my exact diversification strategy, including all my resources. And week 4, one of our most requested things is meeting my trust attorney and sharing with you why you need a trust. And then every single month, you'll be on a call with me where I break down my conversation with my CFO and my financial team on exactly what I'm doing. We're demystifying all this, okay? That's the description down below. That is a paid webinar series, just so you know. Just to be clear, you have to go through an interview process to see if you're a good fit. So description of this video, click. You can sign up for the webinar series to get interviewed, and then you can set up a free consultation with my insurance team. All right, so let's dive right in. This is very, very, very important. Okay, now this is the boring stuff. This isn't exciting stuff, but I'm going to break down the facts, figures, numbers, logic. So together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a calculator. Okay, so we're going to do some math together today. Now, what I want you to do is as I break this down, I want you to put yourself in this position. Okay, now this might be your numbers. Your numbers may be higher. Your numbers may be lower. But before we go into this, I want to share with you, they've warned us. Jerome Powell, the head of the Feds, has warned us. He said he's worried about the middle class getting wiped out, leveraged towards technology. Now, remember, I'm trying to prepare you guys. When they lower interest rates, it's going to appear to look good from the media for the normal everyday person, but it's not. Everything's going to go into hyperinflation. So we have to learn financial literacy. When interest rates come down in this type of environment, it is good for you to take sovereignty of your wealth and maybe become a retail investor. Okay. Wall Street gets really, really wealthy during these times, and the wealth gap becomes massive. Okay. That's what's happening. So the printing of money made the wealthy extremely wealthy and the poor really poor. And if you don't think when they lower interest rates, it's going to make it even bigger, you better wake up. Okay. Super Bowl's over. That distraction's over. Now, what distraction you need to focus on next? The next distraction is you putting the blinders on, looking at your budget, getting serious about your finances, and taking sovereignty of your wealth, learning financial literacy, financial discipline, and taking advantage of the biggest shift in generational wealth. Because if you do this correctly and you invest appropriately, you can make your family very, very wealthy, but it takes financial discipline, financial literacy, and rewiring the foundation. Okay, so here's the first thing we're going to look at. So I want everybody to get a calculator out, okay? So pause the video and go grab a calculator. All right, welcome back. Okay, so here we wanted to look at the first key takeaway of the wealth gap in America. So the top 10% of households by wealth had 6.5 million on average. As a group, they hold 66% of the total household wealth. Okay, so the wealth gap is massive in America. Since 1971, when they detached us from the gold standard and money's been basically free, Wall Street has benefited from this. Now, there's a weird transition right now where Main Street is getting involved, but Main Street doesn't understand the game. And Wall Street will manipulate us over and over again to trick us so that we focus on the news, which is too late when it hits the news. We have to build a game plan, take sovereignty of our wealth, learn to move our money in these waves of energy. When everybody's coming in, we should be getting out. When everybody's getting out, we should be buying the dip. And if you repeat that process and you pull and secure your wealth, you can transform your family's life, but it's going to take some discipline. It's going to take some consistency. Okay, so let's go into the first stat here. So the first thing I want us to look at is the average income of an American is $59,000. Okay, so I want you to put $59,000 in your calculator. Okay, so that's our average income for Americans. Okay, so if we go here, I have this calculator here. It says that's about $28.37. So the monthly pay for $59,000 a month is 4,917. So I'm going to put 4,917 into my calculator. Okay. Now we're going to do bare bones minimum here. Okay. Now, first thing we're going to look at is groceries, right? We all have to eat, but we know people are eating out. Now, this is just baseline family of four groceries is around $975 a month. So let's do a minus 975. Okay. We're at $3,942 left for our family. Okay. If we go here, the average mortgage right now is $2,883. So we're going to subtract that $2,883. Now, I live in Arizona, and that's very, very typical. I know that our rental area went up about 27%, 27% in some areas. Okay. So that leaves us, oh my goodness, we have about $1,059 left. Is that right? Holy cow. Then if we go over to the average car payment, okay, the new cars is $726. A used car is $533. Let's do what the average American usually does is they get suckered into buying a new car and they're paying $726 minus. We have three, that's a cool number, three left. We've paid our mortgage, we've gotten some groceries, and we have a car payment. We haven't even paid insurance. We haven't done anything yet. We really haven't done. We have $333 left in America. Okay, so let's go back here. We have nearly half of Americans only have $500 or less in savings. So let's pause for just a moment. So we paid for our house, we paid for a car, and we paid for groceries, and we have $333 left. So let's say, oh gosh, what else do we got? We got medical, we have clothes for the kids. We have no money left. There's nothing left, and the average American has $500 in savings. And let me shock you a little bit more here. Okay. This is what is the national average for retirement savings? The US is around $95,000. $95,000, family. Okay. So we need to really, really think about this. We have $333 left. That is to put clothes on the back of our kids, is to pay for schooling supplies. If you divide that by 4 weeks throughout the month, let's see, 333 divided by 4, you have about $83 a week. Oh, we didn't even talk about gas. Gas. There's nothing left, family. And Americans, you may be feeling that pressure. It's because in our education system, they don't teach us financial literacy. They teach us, and parents, you have to stop doing this, telling your kids to go to school, get a job, get a 401k. You're basically telling your kids how to be enslaved to the debt-based system. There's no money in the system. Every single dollar is someone else's debt. So we're in this critical paradigm right now of a financial switch. The whole financial system is switching. And I want to share with you guys, I'm not here to say the American dollar is going to collapse today, tomorrow, but there's a slow, methodical transition of a new monetary system. And I'm not going to sit back and wait for this thing to change. I'm making radical changes. So what does it mean to be a retail investor? Things like Robinhood, when they came out, changed the game. It got normal everyday person, so they don't have to walk into a Chase or a Wells Fargo or a Bank of America, where they could jump on their app and they could make investment decisions. Okay, now the SEC said they were protecting us from a speculative asset called crypto because we were getting in basically pre-IPO, which would be pre-ICO. We were getting in like the big boys and big girls as they invest in pre-IPOs, which only Wall Street had access to. Now you, as a normal everyday person, have access to a very early monetary system, which is cryptocurrency. Now you got to be very, very, very careful. You have to seek wise counsel because everybody thinks they're going to get rich in crypto. And I'll tell you what, a ton of people got wrecked. People cashed out their life savings, they mortgaged their home, they put their money in cryptocurrency, or they put their money in the stock market trying to catch the GameStop, all that stuff, but they didn't understand how the markets actually work. Wall Street always wins, okay? Wall Street always wins. Whoever controls the money, controls the information, controls the people. So when you hear it on the news, it's too late. We have to learn to buy the rumors, sell the news. You buy the rumors, sell the news. I do the opposite of the public, especially in cryptocurrency. So let me give you a very clear, specific example. Okay. So basically, I built a fundamental crypto portfolio across different payment rails, across payment rails, supply chain management, infrastructure, gaming, things like that. Now, crypto is not my retirement. Crypto is an ability to make a large amount of money in a short amount of time, not get rich quick because I'm doing the opposite of everybody else. Very disciplined and consistent within crypto. I have a very strict exit plan set up. As this starts to go parabolic, I believe July, August, going into the back end of 2024, when they lower interest rates. Okay, you have the Bitcoin halving in April, which is going to cause a little bit of excitement. Then it's going to settle down a little bit. And then it's about 90 days after, I believe it starts to go up. And then when they lower interest rates, your assets are going to go into hyperinflation, which is straight up. Now you have to get the greed gene removed from your body. You need to pull profits because what goes up comes collapsing down rapidly. Wall Street will always get their money. They don't care about the retail investor. They don't care about your 401k. They don't care that you spent your savings and mortgage your house, which you should not do. You should create a budget. Number one, create some cash flow. Get rid of your two cars that you're paying $700 a month for. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. Eat at home. Eat some pasta. Get whatever you want to do. Go shop on the outside of the store. Maybe learn to garden. Do something, but create cash flow. It's time to get extreme. If there was a time to be disciplined right now, this is it. The next 12 months, be a disciple, discipline, higher consciousness. Okay. So what I did is I created a very fundamental crypto portfolio. I have an exit plan. We created Merlin for you guys, 30 days for free. You can set up an exit plan. So what you do is you download Merlin. You can go inside there and set up an exit plan. Okay. An exit plan is laddering out on the way up. Now, why do we do that? Because let's use XRP, for example. Say it goes to its all-time high of $3.70. I'll be exiting about 10 to 15% of 50% of my portfolio. Just to be clear, I'm holding 50% long-term forever. And I'll explain what I'll do with that in just a moment. I'm going to exit 50% of my portfolio on the way up if it hits the targets. So if it hits $3.70, I'll exit 10 to 15%. Say I pull whatever amount it is, say it's six figures, I pull that out. And then I'm going to be max funding my index universal life policies. That allows me to protect the principal, compound the wealth, borrow against it tax-free, and get market-like returns, anywhere from 6 to 12% on average. Okay. And then my stuff's locked in. Okay. From there, I look around and I say, should I get into real estate, precious metals? Should I invest more in companies? And then when the markets come back down in crypto, I'll be buying back in. So as everybody's coming in, I'm exiting on the way up, because when it goes extremely parabolic, the exchange is shut down. They're being liquidated. So you're going to wait till your favorite influencers are going to tell you it's going to go to 100K. It's going to go to this, it's going to go to 589. And on the way up, you didn't pull any profits. And guess what? When it gets there, when it hits 30% before their target that they say it's going to get there, it's going to come collapsing down, and you're going to go into depression and anxiety, just like people did from 2022 to 2024. And they're going to be frustrated. That's what they want to do. They want to wreck you retail investors. They want you to believe that you have to go sit with a guy that drives a 535i BMW, sitting in a suit, that is living paycheck to paycheck, and is your financial advisor. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that you need the financial advisor, that you need that. Now, there is wise counsel, but make sure it's wise counsel. Okay. You have to start to take sovereignty and understand how the markets work, how money flows through the system. So I just shared with you guys, I have a strict exit plan. I use Index Universal Life. It's worked for me and hundreds of people, so much that I got licensed last year. I referred it for 3 years. I've been using it since 2020. I referred it to another agent because I was so big around it. And then last year I decided to get licensed so I could expand my knowledge. And we built our own team to help people do this. That's how passionate I'm about it. It's one of my fastest growing organizations right now, because we're truly helping people with a financial conversation to say, take a deep breath. Get your shit together, create a budget, get disciplined, get your family involved. My point behind this, family, is this is the greatest opportunity in human history. The deeper the distractions get, the harder this is going to fall. And the harder this falls, the more it's going to go up. And the more it goes up, the more profits you can make. And if you're disciplined and you have a foundation built outside, you could radically transform your family's life. But I'll tell you what will make you the richest man and woman in the world is building your relationship with Jesus Christ and God. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking relationship. I don't care if you're Buddhist. I don't care if you're Catholic. I don't care if you're Jehovah Witness. I don't care if you're Church of Latter-day Saints. It is your time to really tap in and tune in. Jesus was not religious. He was relationship. He went from village to village, and he was the richest man that ever walked this earth. He said to heave up into the right hemisphere of the brain. Get back to your family foundation. Develop some principles for your family. Start having dinner with your family. And I'll tell you what, the feeling of financial freedom and freeing your family because of these speculative assets and being able to be disciplined and consistent for a long enough period of time. I'm with my kids every single night, and I want that for every single one of you guys. I break bread with my kids on an every single night basis. I get to pick up my son every single day. I'm raising my kids. I'm actually pulling my kid out of the public school system. My daughter's 19. She's my roommate, basically my roommate. She's a beautiful, thriving young lady turning 20. She's kicking ass. My son is being pulled out of the public school systems. We're going to be homeschooling him. I don't trust this system. I just don't. I don't trust other people raising my kids. I'm not against teachers. I think teachers are doing the best they can. I think they got one of the hardest jobs in the world. One of the hardest jobs in the world. But then God we trust bullshit. America has let go of their consciousness. America has given into the worldly things. We're living in the world. We're of the world. And we need to get back to that higher consciousness. We need to get back to the foundation of discipline, consistency. What built America was discipline, consistency, and a true belief in God. This is our time, family. This is a critical, critical time in human history. So the question I have for you is 12 months from now, on February 12th, 2025, what action will you have taken? Or are you going to wait for Trump to come back to save you? Are you going to wait for the other president, the left to win or the right to win? Are you going to take action now? Because nobody's coming to save you. Jesus never said he was coming back in the physical. He says, I'm right here with you. He's looking you in the eyes saying, what are you going to do? What disciplined actions? That's what a disciple is. It's discipline. Tap in, tune in. They want you deep in the fear mindset. And people say I'm fear mongering. This is fact mongering. I have zero fear of this system. I have zero fear of any man or woman on this earth. I fear inviting sin into my life and disappointing God. That's what I fear. And so what I do is I spend my time being disciplined, consistent, blinders on. I don't care what people think about me. I do. That's a lie. I care what people think about me. People that I love, I absolutely care what they think about me. What I don't care about is your judgment of me. I will continue to speak of my relationship with God. Jacob saw God face to face. He called it pineal. I see God face to face every single day as I'm sitting in that cold ice water every single morning. And I sit there with God. And Jesus says, take no thought. I take no thought. And I give it all to God. And I know that every single step I'm taking, every single video I do is divinely directed by a higher power. I believe that. Call me crazy, but I truly believe that every single video I do, every single step I take is divinely directed by God. So I love you guys very, very much. Like I said, I'm looking for 100 people for my next webinar series. Basically, it is a paid webinar series. We do charge for our services. So people will comment down below. There's thousands of free content. If you want to get the free content, there's thousands of hours, but this is a paid academy. You're going to go through a 4-week webinar series with me. Week 1 is going to access to my exact portfolio, just my paradigm, just showing you what I do, not financial advice. Week 2 is how to get in and how to get out of the markets properly. Week 3 is access to all my resources, business, precious metals, index universal life. Everything I do, you get all the resources. And then week 4, you get to meet with my trust attorney. And then every single month, I'm going to be presenting to you guys my finances and exactly what I'm doing. As I'm learning, I'm still growing. I'm still a baby in this stuff, but I'm going to bring to you exactly what I'm doing, the mistakes that I've made, so that we can make it right together. So you'll click the link down below. You can apply for that. You have to go through an interview process because I want to make sure that you're a right fit for that program. But I love you guys, man. I'd love to roll with you guys. And again, in 4 days or 3 days, I'll be announcing, get ready. It's going to sell out super fast. If you've never been to our April Freedom Conference, if you want to meet me in person, that's coming April, back end of April. That will be announced in 3 days. You'll be able to get your tickets to meet me in person and my whole crypto team, which will be absolutely amazing in Mesa, Arizona. So we love you guys. We appreciate you. As we always say, Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go. Love you guys.